Good afternoon. With most of us being in the military or prior military, I know we've at some point in our military career had to deal with a firearm. So with that being said, I want to use as my visual aid today my AR-15, which resembles the M4 being used in today's military. So today I want to show you how to safely unload this weapon and make sure it's in a safe condition. And then I want to show you how to field strip this weapon, making sure that you're doing preventive maintenance checks and also preparing it to be cleaned. And then lastly, I'll go over some tools that we use in the military to clean these weapons and briefly discuss different types of lubrication that you could use to lubricate the parts on this weapon, making sure it's in a safe working order. Like any other military piece of equipment, if you take care of it, it will take care of you. Now, dealing with any type of firearm, you want to make sure that you are doing weapon safety. So, first and foremost, you'll never point your weapon at anything you don't intend to shoot, and you'll treat all weapons as if they are loaded. First and foremost, you want to make sure that if you look here at the weapon safety selector switch, it's pointed at the safe direction. And next, you want to unload this weapon. So, as I point with my finger here, I'm pointing at the magazine release button. I'm going to push that down, which will release my magazine. I see there's no ammo in there, so I don't need that anymore. With that being said, though, even though I've released the magazine from the magazine well, there still might be ammo stuck up in here in the breech in the barrel, so I want to make sure that I clear that out. If I reach back here and grab this charging handle, I'll pull that to the rear, which will pull that bolt to the rear, automatically ejecting any rounds that might be lodged inside the barrel. But it might not be in working order, so I want to double check visually inside the breech there and see if there's no ammo in the barrel. No ammo in the barrel, we can move on. So, now that I've seen that there's no ammo inside the barrel, and I've released the magazine from the magazine well, so there's no ammo inside this weapon. And again, I'll double check the safety selector switch and make sure it's in the point at the safe position. I can now safely take this weapon apart and prepare it to be cleaned. Now, if I get closer here, you're going to see that there's two pins. I've got a breakdown pin and a pivot pin. I'll first release that breakdown pin here in the rear, which will now pivot my upper receiver away from my lower receiver. My lower receiver and my upper receiver. These are two main points of this weapon, the third being the bolt housing group. As I pull that charging handle back, releasing my bolt housing group, I can now pull my bolt housing group away from my weapon, and this is the third main point of my weapon. I'm going to go ahead and put that down for a minute because we're not going to use that. I'm going to pull that charging handle out because I'm not going to need that anytime soon. And I'm going to have to release my upper receiver from my lower receiver, so I'll take that pivot pin and release that, which will now release my upper receiver from my lower receiver. Putting down my lower receiver, I'm going to look at my upper receiver and I'm going to inspect it. Alright, I'm going to inspect it from both ends. And also I'll inspect inside the barrel and see if there's any damages, pieces, or brokens, or cracks, or anything missing. Make sure that everything's in good working order. After I've go ahead and checked everything, it's pretty much ready to be cleaned, but I need to check the rest of the weapon, so I need to put this down. Picking up my lower receiver again, I'm going to be looking in the trigger housing area and also again at the safety selector switch, make sure everything's in good working order, making sure that there's nothing broken or missing or cracks or burrs or anything like that. Everything looks good, so it's ready to be cleaned. Now, going back to my bolt housing group. I need to break this down a little bit further. So if I look on this side here, there's a little divot right here. It's got a pin inside of it, okay? This is the first thing I need to remove. As I remove this pin from my bolt housing group, this will release my firing pin. And it's in there pretty good. Dang it. Let me see here. Alright, here we go. So as I release this pin out of my bolt housing group and put that down in a safe place because you don't want to lose it, it will release my firing pin. I'll put that down, prepare for cleaning. Now I can break this down even further. If you look here, there's a little notch here. I need to pull this out by twisting it. And I'll pull that out. Make sure I don't lose that by putting it down. And now I can release this forward part. So this is the farthest part we're going to break this down today because we don't have the time to break it down any farther. So now that being said, I want to talk about some tools that we use in the military to break or clean these weapons with. So anybody that's fired these weapons knows what this is. This is a rifleman's cleaning kit. And inside this kit you come with a lot of pretty cool tools that you'll use to clean this with. One being this nifty little toothbrush, which will help break away any solid dirts or dust away from your weapon. Another one is you could utilize is cleaning rods. Cleaning rods that will fit down your barrel, making sure that you can get your bore brush down there, and also some swabs to clean out that barrel. A bore brush right here, so you can knock out any of the foreign material that's maybe lodged up there inside there. And a lot of these cotton swabs here, you want to put those down and make sure that you wipe that barrel clean using those cleaning rods. Okay. Now, different types of lubrication that you could use. One that we use in the military is called CLP. We use that pretty commonly. Another one is LSA and LAW, which are both of those used in different types of terrains. One personal type of lube I like to use is called Frog Lube, and I get that from froglube.com. So today I've showed you how to safely make sure your weapon is in a safe condition by unloading it safely, and also how to break this weapon down and preparing it to be cleaned. I've also showed you how to do preventive maintenance checks on it, looking for any cracks or broken pieces or missing pieces. And I've shown you some of the cleaning tools that we use in cleaning this weapon. Thank you.